What's up, bro? Welcome back to another episode of Bro Let's Talk. If you're new here, my name is Jeff Seats. I'm the creator of this wonderful podcast. In this podcast, we talk about mental health, growth, relationships, loving yourself, and everything else that ties into that. Today is a very special day. It's always a special day when I have special guests, but today it happens to be a woman. And so I started to open up my guest intake to women because I feel that as men on Bro Let's Talk, we need perspective from a woman. So without further ado, I want you to go ahead and introduce who you are, what you do, music and stuff like that, and then we're just gonna get into it. We're gonna talk.
Taylor Barbie. I go by Tay-Mac when I do music. I sing. I'm in a band called AKA and Company.
Okay, music. You've been singing
Forever.
For like how far?
Probably for like the last 17.
I said how far? How long? Sorry.
Probably for like the last 17 years, like seriously. Yeah.
So backstory, we went to high school together, so that's another reason why you're here. But I knew that you sung. You can really sing well.
I try.
Really well. So you said 17 years you've been singing. So you were how old?
7.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say serious at 7.
Right.
You know.
Because some people are. Some people are like doing the most at 7. So what kind of 7-year-old singer were you?
Radio singer in the backseat.
In the backseat.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like that too. And if you ask me, I got the lungs. I could sing too.
I need some proof.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll record something. But how did that blossom as you grew up?
I would say probably like my brother and watching my brother.
Yeah, because he's into music too.
Yeah, very heavy. But yeah, I would say just like watching my brother and seeing people see him. I think when it really got serious was like when I made like my very first song. My brother wrote it, and I was like, I think this is something I can do.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super dope. So now being in the band, how did that come about? Because it's your brother's band, right?
It's my brother's band.
Okay.
Yeah. He just asked me.
Okay.
And I was like, as long as we do it Tuesdays and Thursday nights, it's cool.
Yeah. So do you feel like that's your passion? Now, some people can sing. They can just sing. They can do that. And then there's people that love to sing. That's what they feel like their passion or what they're here for. Where do you fall in between those two?
I don't think that's what I'm here for, but I'm definitely like passionate about what I do.
Okay.
And I put a lot of work into what I do.
Okay, I love that. So do you think music, would you call yourself a creative?
Yes.
Because I see some of your posts on social media, like the pictures you just took, I believe maybe, I don't know when you took them, but it was very creative to me. Like it gave that type of vibe. And when I think of people that are creative, I think of them being confident. Could you see the correlation between the two?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, because I was pulling at it.
Yeah.
But where did that come from? Because have you always been confident in yourself?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Now let's dive into that. Where did that lack of confidence start? When did it start?
I would say like consciously, probably like junior high, and I think that's like when girls kind of like look at other girls and they're like, oh, look at their body.
Yeah.
I don't look like that.
Yeah,
for
sure. So looking at other people definitely made you feel some type of way. What was that journey like?
Rough.
How long did it last?
I would say up until like the year, I think it was I got surgery in 2018. But I feel like when I went into high school, because my brother was older than me, he was there. I gained some confidence within like knowing him and like, y'all ain't gonna mess with me.
Yeah.
Like,
Did they
I'm
mess
hurt.
with you?
No, absolutely not. I mean,
Do you feel like you had like a certain aura about yourself that says like, y'all not gonna mess with me?
I would say yeah and
do.
no. You think so?
I think
Oh
so.
God, don't
I
say
really
that.
do. I think that is now looking back at that, because I feel like I've been like that in the past. It's usually like a defense mechanism,
For sure.
because once we're like, you're like, and it's weird, but I definitely got that from you in high school.
Dang,
I
like
did.
That.
I
That's
feel like
hurtful.
I feel like you were a nice person, but you could definitely tell that. And now looking back at that and being able to talk about that, I can see that. So if people did not mess with you, it was solely just the comparing yourself to other people.
Yeah, and just like within myself, like I guess like when I was in high school and like when I was bigger than what I am now, I didn't see me like that. You know what I'm saying?
What did you see you as?
I couldn't even tell you. Like I just didn't think I was that abnormal. But like now looking back and looking at pictures, I'd be like, dang girl, yeah.
I've been there. I've absolutely been there. I think when going through high school, I was just packing on weight, just like abnormal weight. And then when we had Chloe, I realized like, you are big. And it never was an issue until I started to notice it, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't know, when you don't notice something about yourself, it's like, okay, you just gonna keep eating, you're gonna keep doing that. But as soon as you start seeing yourself like that, it's like, okay, now you need to wake up and deal with this. So for you, because your story is a little different, like I wasn't bullied about that at all, but in my head, it wasn't the comparison of other people, it was more so just what I wanted for myself. Like, I wanted abs. Like, I wanted to be like that guy. Now I don't want abs, but at that time, I'm just like, I want to be a jock. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I don't know where that stems from. We're still dealing with that in therapy, but we're going to figure it out. Maybe part 2 or something like that. But so if it started in junior high, this wasn't you hear the stories where it's like, I was 7 years old and I was just eating. I was just this, that, and the third. How do you feel like it got out of control? Like, was there anything hooked to that?
Therapy. No, my mom and dad were like low key going through whatever they were going through. And it affected both me and my brother. It was the first time we ever like lived separately.
Okay.
It's kind of like that hidden past that people really don't know about. And I think just like dealing with that, as well as feeling like I gotta grow up because it's just me and my mom in this house. I gotta take care of her as well as her take care of me.
Right.
And it was kind of like something that wasn't conscious on my mind or I was thinking about. Also, I was a little kid, so it was kind of like.
Yeah, I agree. I understand where you're coming from, and I think that a lot of times our weight our weight, for a lot of people, it can get out of control because some of us are emotional eaters, or we just don't think about taking care of ourselves in that way, especially when we're going through a traumatic experience like a divorce, or some people are touched or whatever that looks like. I found that it is sometimes connected to weight. And so I definitely wanted to ask that. So going through junior high, you graduated. Did you feel like you continued on that unhealthy lifestyle, or when was that change for you, and how long did that take?
Honestly, I didn't change until I was outside of high school.
Okay.
Which is kind of surprising because, I was in like marching band,
right.
which was tough.
Was
tough?
It?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't mean to cut you off, but I was talking to somebody yesterday, and we were saying like, just because you're a bigger person doesn't mean that you're that unhealthy, which being in marching band, you gotta be able to do some stuff.
Oh yeah.
So that's just like a little, people judge when they see bigger people like they're so unhealthy, but sometimes they're not as unhealthy as you are.
Right.
And, you know, go ahead. I'm sorry. Just wanted to say that.
Oh, when it started was probably like 2000. Really was 2017, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, like this is out of control. I ain't trying to die at the age of 20, 21. Like that's crazy. So I just kind of like went to the doctor. They denied me. They were like, you got to lose this weight. And then I just kind of stayed committed because I was watching other people's journeys and how much they was losing. So, I mean, I think it's up until like current, because obviously if you look at me maybe like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, up until now, you know, you would be able to like tell a difference. I obviously put on some weight. I'm back on that journey. I feel like it's an everyday thing.
Never-ending journey.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, because you really got to stay committed to it and be intentional with it. But why do you think, I hear this all the time, when you go to the doctor, they say you have to lose this amount of weight to get this. Why is it so easy to lose the weight to get surgery, but not just lose the weight?
Oh, because you're focused. You have an end goal. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that's just, I don't know. I think you're just, what's the word I'm looking for? Like hyper focused, you know, especially because, you know, once I get this surgery, then I mean, you still have to work hard, you know, it's just a tool, but like, you know, I don't know.
I get it. I just wanted to mention that because I noticed that, and I think that's what a lot of people, I've never done a weight loss surgery or nothing like that, but definitely I hear it all the time. And I watch like 600 Pound Life and stuff like that.
I hate that show.
Why?
Because it's not a proper representation of fat people.
But
Sorry.
That's like that's like a different level of, that's big. Like,
but if you take me into account, I was there. Really? You know what I'm saying? I weighed 500 plus pounds. Yeah.
I never would have thought that.
Yeah.
That is
neither
amazing,
did I.
Right?
Neither did I.
It's amazing that you're here now, but like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why were you able to be active, but these people laying in bed can't move?
Because they're lazy. They're lazy. That's why I literally hated it. Like, I would make posts, like, obviously, after I was on my journey, I would make posts, like, I hate this show, because it's just like, you know what I'm saying? My legs don't look like that, nor am I like, oh, I only eat potatoes. No, I eat salads too, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's a misrepresentation of the plus size community. Like you said, not everybody is big and not athletic, you know, so.
Yeah, and nowadays, okay, so when it does get unhealthy, because nowadays we are in the body positivity era, and it shouldn't be an era, you know, we always should be kind to everybody, but it's heavy now, BBW and all of those things. At what point do you think it's okay for someone close to you to say, okay, I love you, I support you, but it's getting out of control?
At any point,
really?
Honestly, yeah.
And you wouldn't get offended?
Absolutely not. I mean, even when I was bigger, you know, my mom would be like, you know, like, let's try this.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, even like since being like a little kid, like I was a fat little kid. I was in kindergarten, had boobs. You know what I'm saying? Like I was always heavy. So like my family was constantly just like dieting, trying these new diets, cabbage soup, low calorie, you know.
Soup.
Yeah.
Wow. So I would think it would be the opposite, because I would think, I feel like when people gain weight, like we said, that defense mechanism comes up. And so it's really hard to say, hey, it's time for, you know, to go on a little diet or whatever. But it's interesting to think like you would be okay with that. Yeah,
absolutely. I wish somebody would have told me sooner, if I'm honest.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like nobody, I wouldn't say that nobody didn't say anything, but like, it doesn't matter what anybody says to you. You got to make that decision.
For
you know?
sure.
So
I absolutely agree with that. Do you feel like the weight that you had gained or the weight that you had got to, made you not value yourself as much or have low self-esteem?
To be honest, I want to say no.
Okay.
I didn't date a whole lot, but like that wasn't like my main focus either. So it's kind of like as long as I felt comfortable in my skin, it didn't matter. But again, back to like looking at other people, I would say like in a way it like made me less confident. But I always say like I got a high confidence, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm pretty, you know, but like, you know, everybody got that pit in their stomach, you know, somebody can hit that. And so.
Yeah. Okay, so you touched on dating. What has that looked like for you? Has it been good, bad? Do you have a great experience with it, or what's going on in your dating life?
Currently now, I'm single, and I don't want to date. I mean, I do. I just been through a lot with. I literally have had 3 boyfriends in my entire life. Don't get me wrong, there are other people that I like talk to in between and things of that nature, but like I would say like serious boyfriends, I had 3 and they were all like not.
It wasn't a pattern?
I would say it like got progressively worse.
Okay.
But like, I mean, I didn't date in high school, so I'm kind of going through what everybody else done already went through. Maybe not as extreme, of course, but like, yeah, I just feel like it's also tough just like being an adult. You know, you want somebody to share the bills with.
You do. Absolutely. So. Trust me, I get it. There was a post on social media, I don't know how long ago it was, but it was just a while back that caught my attention from you. Because I feel like I've never seen you in this light. And it was you posting about an abusive relationship. I think it may have been even pictures that you were posting. How did that happen? And how did you get there? Like, what was that experience like for you?
Well, I can't tell you like how it got there. I just kind of feel like until you go through like, not that I want people to go through a domestic violence relationship. I'm not going to raise that red flag. But like, I feel like a lot of people who go through domestic violence, people will be like, why don't you just leave? But like, people forget that there's love there. You know what I'm saying? And just like I see you, you see me, you see the best in me. You don't want to, like you said, you didn't see me in that light. So like, I always thought of this person like, oh, it's got to get better. Like, and I don't think it had anything to do with like my self-worth or anything like that. I mean, I was at my smallest when I got with him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. And it was through COVID and, you know, so, I mean.
So you said there's love there. You think that?
So I won't say that he didn't love me. People deal with their own traumas in different ways.
Absolutely.
And people grow up differently. I grew up with 2 parents in a household. He did not, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that has a big effect on it, on the decisions that he makes, as well as like his past and what he's gotten into, and kind of the women that he has dealt with. And I feel like my love is very intense. You know what I'm saying? When I love you, I love hard, and I'ma fix it. Like, let me fix you. Let me fix it. And it's not necessarily that I can fix you, but in my head, I'm like, you know, whatever's going wrong, like I could fix it. Oh, you need $20, like here.
Are you still like that?
No.
Okay. Where?
Well, in leniency, when it comes to like my friends, I'ma always be there. But in a relationship, absolutely never. No, never again.
Okay. So it did get abusive. Like very abusive.
Progressively worse. Yes.
That's tough. I'm sorry that you went through that. I appreciate that. I've had some people in my life that have dealt with domestic violence, and it's a horrible spot to be in. And I understand when people say what you were saying with, you don't understand until you get there. I was in a relationship, not like that, but like abusive in different ways, and you could not tell me nothing because I thought it was love, right? So what was that point for you where you was like, this is enough, I have to get out of this?
Oh man, I would say probably like that very last time was kind of the point where I was like, yeah, I can't, you know what I'm saying? If you choose to be a better person, we can be friends. I can be a confidant.
You had an open heart.
You know what I'm, because like I don't want to, you never know the relationships that you could build. I don't know who you know what I'm saying? And that could take me forward. Or maybe there's something that I could hand you this business card, and next thing you know, he got a job, you know? So, I don't know, that like...
When that moment was that you was just like, I gotta get out of this.
To be honest, it was like, that the last time that it happened, I don't really remember the altercation, and literally it's not funny that we talk about this, but like I had recently switched hospitals that I went to. Now I'm going to the same hospital that I went to that night. And
still triggering for you?
Oh yeah, like I'm reading the summary and I'm just like, that's crazy. And that point where I was just like, I can't subject myself to this type of love. Was like when I woke up in the hospital the next day, didn't know where I was at. My dad came and picked me up from the hospital. I told him I had to go to the bathroom. I went pee. I didn't see my face up until this point. And I looked at myself, and my dad could just hear me crying, and he busted in the door, and it was just like, yeah, no scars. Low-key live forever, which sucks and has affected my said dating life. So,
in what way? What do you mean?
It's made me more cautious when it comes to men, and I don't believe what come out your mouth.
Well, don't do that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
not all of us.
I don't want to be that way, but I feel like everybody has their own healing process, and you can't tell me, well, Taylor, it's been 2 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
You know,
absolutely.
so it's just like, it's hard for me to like have trust in people because I trusted this person. I love this person. Traveled across America with this person.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, when that bond was so tight, I never thought that you would do something like this to me. Yeah.
And I think like that was always in him. That's how I feel.
Oh yeah.
That was always there. That's always in a person. And like you said, you don't know. Everybody's going through something, and everybody has been through something, and they deal with it in a different way. That is why I love this platform, because hopefully more men will start to be vulnerable with how they feel, what they've been through, what their traumatic experiences have been like, so that they can get the proper healing to not let that happen. Because I believe that when you start putting your hands on somebody, there's some anger built up in you. And it's not even your fault. It's never your fault.
You always are gonna, well, not you necessarily, but like those type of people who can't handle that pain are always going to take it out on the person who's most vulnerable to them. As well as,
I love that.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that. But you see that all the time. Wow, look at you. I liked that. How did you recover after getting out of that, like mentally?
I went to the Nord Center. Grippy socks. Anyway, it was a little light of the situation, but I went to the Nord Center because, like, it's sad to say, but I'ma be real. Even after that, I kind of I wanted answers, and I wanted to know, like, why did you do this to me?
Yeah.
So, like, I did take that step and, like, reach out and was like, yo, like.
You reached out to him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's just like even, and I hate to say it, well, I don't hate to say it, but like there's still love in my heart for this person. I don't hate him. You know, I wish him nothing but the best. But like I did reach out, and you know, I try to fix things. What did I do? Was it something that I did? Yeah,
Really?
yeah. But then I went to the North Center. Was there for a couple days, and I left and got a therapist and kind of talked to her. But I really didn't like her, if I'm honest. So like I'm in the market for a new therapist, but like my therapy would be like music, you know what I'm saying? And just being able to put how I'm feeling into words. They don't need to know who it's about.
Yeah.
But at least you'll get to hear what's on my heart.
Right. So you're in your healing journey. You're on your healing journey.
Oh yeah.
And it takes time. What advice would you give to a woman? Okay, first, a little girl dealing with her weight issues. What advice would you give to her?
If she's conscious, like she wants to lose weight,
she's.
You know, I gotta build the story, because if she's not aware of how big she's getting, I feel like that falls on the parent, and not that my parents didn't do anything, but like for her to know that she's beautiful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you're not meant to look like these other little girls that are around you.
Because some people, everybody's body type is different. And I have to be very careful being a father with how I say things and how I try to push one look off on my child. Because if my child is not meant to be this like small girl, then that's just not it. But for the child that has grown up, low self-esteem, not getting affirmations, now is in junior high and comparing herself to everybody else.
Stop comparing yourself and just work on yourself. You know, stop trying to reach this goal to look like everyone else. Because again, like you said, everybody's body type is different. It is. You can't strive to be a size 0 if that's not what you're meant to be. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. So, advice for a woman going through an abusive relationship.
Get out.
But
it don't get better.
How do you get out?
Me personally, like through...
Because it's a mental thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, again, like you said, like I'm still on my healing journey. Like it's still not that I don't want the relationship, but I still care for this person. But the best advice I have is to love somebody from afar. If it's not good for you, it's not bringing you peace, you sanity, and just making you feel comfortable, you have no other choice but to get out, because nobody's going to be able to save you, and everybody's going to try to save you, but you truly have to save yourself.
Until you're ready.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. Okay. Last, with the music, I know you said it's not what you feel like you were put here for. I love that. But you're passionate about it. What would you say to somebody trying to pursue what they're passionate about? What advice would you give them?
It takes hard work. Everything isn't gonna get 100 million views. You know, my first song I ever put out only got 100 views. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're not getting those views doesn't mean that it's not good. And the more you work on it, the better you're going to get.
I feel that. What's next for your brand?
For me, myself, to be honest, to be continued, you know?
That's cool.
Right now, my main focus is the music stuff, the band. We're trying to take that off. Our EP's about to come out soon. I just recently put mine out.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that I want to be like famous, but it wouldn't be bad. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. So where can people find you at?
Everywhere.
Like what? Where's your at name?
Instagram, it's Tay-Mac Music with 2 X's. Facebook is Taylor McKenzie. Not gonna give out my Snapchat.
No, please don't. Please don't. Well, I loved having you here. It was definitely a light with a dark situation. I feel like you were able to bring positivity into telling your story. And a lot of times it's difficult to do that. And when I talk to people, it's always tears, it's always sad. But I love the fact that you can laugh through it and smile through it, make jokes through it. And I think that there is gonna take you very, very far. And as long as you continue to have that mindset and continue on this healing journey, the sky is the limit.
Hope so.
Yes. So thank you again. I hope you guys got something from this episode. Again, thank you. I loved this. And until next time, we're out.